Surprise, surprise, my friend. Let me tell you something that you don't know. And if you understand what I will be telling you, you will transform your life forever. And it's a very simple idea, but it's not about its simplicity. What is really important is about how you apply it. It's about the execution. What is really important of this idea? And is that you don't avoid circumstances or situations in your life as you think you're doing. No, you don't avoid that. What you really avoid is affect. What you are really avoiding is how you will feel, what emotions you will experience if you dare to do what you say to everyone that you want to do. And welcome, my friend, to the most transformative podcast in the world. Or let's say the most, let's say, maybe I can change this intro. Maybe you can tell me in the comments if I should be starting the intro like this. Welcome, my friend, to the most transformative podcast in the multiverse. That sounds more kind of a epic, right? World is like, yeah, the world, but the multiverse. Oh my god. The Mastermind Podcast Challenge. Season what? Season 2 with your host, the bebecito of Puerto Rico, your favorite doctor of all time, the GOAT, the greatest of all time, Dr. Derek Israel, and this is the episode, and it's gonna be an epic episode 572. Let's get ready. If this is the first episode that you see in your life for this podcast, man, you are on a mission. You're on a mission to subscribe and to learn everything that I am discussing here, because what I can tell you, this is the most expansive, transformational podcast of personal development, spiritual expansion. So you should be considering subscribing and join us. Before we continue with the podcast, let me remind you that finally I am licensed in Puerto Rico to, to see clients in psychotherapy. So if you live in Puerto Rico and you want therapy, psychological therapy with your favorite doctor, go to the link in the description, and there you will be able to fill a form to request psychological services. I will be, or one member of my team will be contacting you in a couple of weeks with more information. So, what are you truly avoiding in life, my friend? Let's get real now. Let's get serious now. What are you truly avoiding in your life? I want you to bring to your consciousness something or some things that you say to everyone or maybe to yourself that you want to do, that you want to accomplish, that you want to create, that you want to embark, to launch, whatever, to start in your life, but you don't do it. Uh-oh. Okay. No, I was like, oh no, my laptop is not charging. But yes, it's charging. But maybe you don't do it. Maybe you never begin. You don't do the necessary steps. You have the fantasy, but no execution. What are you truly avoiding in your life? Be honest. We are all avoiding something. We are all in the same boat. We are all afraid of truth. We are all afraid of what is, what can happen if I do this, what can happen if I do that. What are you truly avoiding in your life? Bring this to your consciousness because you will work with this material today. Let me tell you what really you are avoiding in life. Your mind, your ego tell you are avoiding this. Exactly. Like, for example, your mind is telling you, yes, you're avoiding traveling to another place, or you are avoiding starting your own podcast, or your mind may be telling you are avoiding going to university for the first time, or coming back to university after you left when you were young. Or maybe your mind is telling you are avoiding going swimming as a sport, or maybe your mind is telling you are avoiding starting painting or writing poetry, or you are avoiding starting a new relationship or having a kid for the first time, or maybe taking the responsibility of the kid that you already have. Right? Your mind is telling you something like that, but that is not really what you're avoiding, man. And if you don't know this trick of your mind, if you don't understand it, these nouns, this kind of flavor of the psyche, this distinction of the psyche, you will be a slave of your own psyche forever. And let me tell you, your psyche is severe. Your psyche, your psychology, your mind is severe. What I mean by that is that if you don't learn how your psyche work, you will be a slave of your psyche, of your mind forever. Your psyche do not care. Your psyche / your ego, she wants you to be her slave. Do you think that I am an expert on the psyche? Well, I kind of an expert and kind of a non-expert, right? Because after 10 years of non-stop studying the psyche, I understood that I don't understand anything about it. But anyways, I'm an expert of the psyche. And do you think I'm an expert because I think that the psyche or the mind is friendly? No. I'm an expert because I know that the psyche is your enemy, is my enemy, is the enemy of the world. So it's better to know your enemy, right? Like in the book, The Art of War, it said, if you know yourself but not your enemy, you will win 50% of the battles. If you know the enemy but you don't know yourself, you will also win 50% of the battles. But if you know yourself and you know your enemy, you will win 100% of the battles. So I know that it's better to know myself in the spiritual sense, in the archetypal sense, outside of the mind, although it's part of mind also, as well. And also it's very essential to know mind, to know the psyche, because it's your enemy. And I have an episode about it. It is called, I don't remember how I call it. It's something about the enemy. I don't even remember if it is in Spanish or in English anymore. Like I don't know. Sorry guys, but what are you truly avoiding in your life? Let me tell you, what are you truly avoiding? You are truly how you will feel if you do the thing. You are not avoiding the thing. You are avoiding the emotions associated with doing the thing. And this is the trick. The trick is that your mind wants you to think that you are avoiding the thing, because she knows that if you understand that you are not avoiding the thing, but that you are avoiding how you will feel about it, the emotions, the feelings about it, then you will do something about it, and then you will do the thing. You will develop some emotional intelligence around it, and you will be able to manage your emotions in a way that you will do the thing, and your mind doesn't want to do the thing because your mind is comfortable in your current position. We call that the comfort zone. It's kind of mainstream, right? Hey, you need to get out of the comfort zone. Uh-huh. Right, yes, we all know that, but we don't do it. Right? Why we don't do it? Because the emotions of the unknown, the emotions that await to you in the other side are so scary. Like you prefer to be miserable in the now than to experience those emotions in the future. But the real sad thing is that you will be more depressed if you don't do it than if you do it. But your mind doesn't know that. Your mind think that you will be more depressed, more anxious, more fearful if you do it in comparison to what you are right now experiencing in your life. So it's a very bad deal. It's a lie. Your mind is a liar. Your mind is manipulative. We all know that. Have you ever known that? Can you trust yourself? What do you think? Can you trust yourself? No. Never trust yourself. Trust God. Trust what transcends yourself. You are corrupted in your mind. That is what is the ego. You're corrupted by the voices of your parents, by the voices of culture, by the voices of your professors, of your teachers, of the media, of Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. You are corrupted all around in your mind. And you can trust that machine? Do you think that? No, you cannot trust your mind. You need to trust your intuition. But it's so scary. It is so scary. Hey, I feel you, man. I'm scared too. I'm afraid too. I'm afraid every day. But I'm pushing, right? I'm pushing. So just think about this. Every circumstance in your life, every situation is just like a movie that you can see and you can watch that situation without any feeling howsoever. But the sad thing is that and that is in the ideal form that you can watch the movie without emotions. But even a movie, you cannot watch it, although you know that you are not the movie, right? Kind of. If you want more about it, more information about how infinitely interconnected a movie is with your mind, you should go and watch my podcast. It's one of my favorite episodes that is called Films Are the New Church. Films are the new church. But do you think that A movie is separated from you. And even there, in that situation, you cannot separate your emotions of the movie. You will feel as Harry Potter is feeling. You will feel as Peter Parker is feeling. But it's a movie. It's supposed to be neutral, objective, right? In the most ideal form, but it is not. So just imagine your life. In the most ideal form, you should be able to judge every situation just for the situation itself objectively, but you cannot do that. You always project emotions to the thing. Like what I am doing right now, I'm just doing a podcast. Why I should have emotions about this? I'm just talking to a microphone. But I am not just talking to a microphone. I am talking with passion. I am talking with fear. I am talking with urgency to speak better English. I am talking with charisma. I am talking with, I am thinking about what you are thinking. And therefore, that is impacting the way that I am talking. I am not just talking. I am not just watching a movie. I am feeling the movie. I am feeling my way through this podcast. You are not just living, you are feeling your life. Just notice this. It's just a very, very important distinction. You are feeling existence. You think that you are existing. No, 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 you are not existing. You are feeling existence. It's like an emotional layer is overimposed in consciousness, in your consciousness. It's like your subjective experience is impregnated with emotional drama. Just notice. And I have an episode about this. It's in Spanish. It is called El Drama de la Vida, si no me equivoco. Búscalo en mi canal de YouTube, El Drama de la Vida, Mastermind Podcast. You are feeling your way through life, and that is not a bad thing, but it can be a trap. Actually, it can be your way out also, your way out of the trap. Your emotions can be your GPS to enlightenment, to merging with God, to ultimate love. But we don't do it. Like we treat emotions as something that I prefer not to feel those, right? So you will never be able to experience life without feelings. So you need to be able to handle this fact of life. We all have this fantasy in spiritual paradigms and spiritual expansion of, oh, once I'm enlightened, once I achieve awakening, once I am one with God, I will be able to be like this Buddhist monk that they don't feel anything. They are neutral. They are just the observer. They are just pure consciousness. They don't feel nothing. Dude, pure consciousness is pure emotion. They feel everything. That's why they are enlightened. They feel everything and they are open to every feeling. That's why they are enlightened. If if they eradicated their feeling, they are not enlightened. They are dead. It's impossible to eradicate or to eliminate your feelings, because you will not feel hunger, you will not feel a need to sleep, you will not feel anything. That's death. That's death. All right. So it's not about not feeling, it's about to learn how to feel better and not be afraid of feeling. It's about not being afraid of fear, not to fear. That is what it's about. It's about emotional intelligence. So let me tell you some situations to put this idea on context. Let me tell you some situations that maybe you are struggling with them, maybe not, but I just want you to think about them and to think about your own life. What are you avoiding to do in your own life? And what emotions are preventing you to do the thing and I want them you just to commit to do the thing. Because if you don't commit after this podcast to do the thing, you waste your time. You wasted your time. This is about doing something with this material. First example, maybe you want to create your own business, but you don't do it. Maybe you want to create your own brand in social media, in the metaverse, but you don't do it. Why? Why? What is a business? In a nutshell, and I know that business is more complex, but in a nutshell, business is just having an idea. It's just an idea, right? On how to give a product or a service and to make money with that product of a service. Simple in a nutshell, nothing complicated. Yes, you need to do more of that, more on that. For example, you need to, okay, you need to develop a logo, you need to develop a brand, but no big deal. You can hire someone or you can do it yourself, right? You need to develop maybe a corporation, an LLC, limited liability company, to protect yourself legally. Okay, you hire an accountant or you do it yourself. Also, you need to do the social media to develop the business model, how you will earn the money, to put the prices. You can do that. It doesn't sound so crazy difficult. It is not. And then you need to execute the business model every day, do a little bit of marketing, execute the product, execute the service with high quality, retain good customers, and repeat the process ethically and legally. That's a business. In a nutshell, it doesn't sound so scary because it is not. It is not that difficult. But why are not you starting your own business? Then if it is so easy, and I'm not telling you that it's easy, but I'm just want you to understand it is not the most complicated thing in the world. Like most entrepreneurs, once they understood this and once they understand the emotional intelligence, they can create. I have never done this, but I'm pretty sure that I will be able to do this in my life in the future. They can create a business in one day, in less than 24 hours. They can create a new business from the idea to the money, like to be selling with a brand and with everything incorporated, with everything organized in 24 hours. They can do it because they already know the emotions. They are not they are not avoiding their emotions anymore. So that's why they can do it so quickly. And you may be thinking about starting your own business, and you may be thinking that for about 4 years, 5 years, 10 years, why don't you do it? Right? Why the hell are you still in the same employment? Why the hell are you still unemployed without doing nothing, thinking about the business, but you don't do it? Why? Because you are afraid of what you will feel if the business fail. It's not about the complicated aspect of the business. It's about fear. That's why you are not starting your business. Oh, what about if I don't sell? Oh, what about if I just waste all the money that I have in that business and I lost the money? Well, that can happen. Yeah, definitely. I have lost so much of my own money in my business, dude. It's part of the process, right? You need to invest, and investment is a risk. Sometimes you win, sometimes you lose. But that is fearful. But that is necessary if you want a business. Oh, what about if I am not a good leader? Oh, what about if I don't know how to manage employees? Or what about if this or that, or if some competitor come to my industry and copy my idea? That will happen as well. Like, business is a jungle. If you bring to the market something that is pretty good, people will copy your product and your service and your model, and they will try to do the same. And that is part of the process. And the sad thing is that, well, it's not sad, it's just business. The thing is that they will drop the price. So they will say to the market, hey, I have the same thing that he's offering, but cheaper. And you maybe are afraid of that. How you will respond if that happened to you. So you are not afraid about the business. You are not afraid about the project. What you are afraid is about the feelings that you will feel about the project. Just notice. I just want you to notice this. Maybe you want to begin a new intimate relationship, but you don't do it. Like you have been thinking about this for years and you stay in your house every day. You don't chat with no one. You don't go to date apps. You don't hang out. You don't, whenever you see a chick that is attractive, you do nothing. Or maybe you see a man that is attractive for you, you do nothing. Why not? You say that you want to begin a new intimate relationship, but you are afraid. At the end of the day, what is to begin a new relationship? Like you just go to a person and say, hey, I think that you are pretty amazing. Do you want to date with me? That's it. That's it. And the person may say, oh, okay, I think that that can be cool. Like, here's my number, or here's my Instagram, and that's it. Or the person may say, oh, hey, sorry, but I am not interested, and that's it, right? That is so objective. That is nothing. That is nothing extraordinary. That is just the process. Like you go, you ask, you risk, and maybe you win, maybe you don't. But you are in your mind feeling all these emotions that is making this impossible for you. You are imagining, oh, she will slap my face if I do it. Oh, he will run. Oh, he will laugh at me and say, you are an ugly person. I will never date you. Oh my God, you are so fat. How the hell you dare to, to ask me out, you ugly fat? No one will tell you that, dude. Like, well, maybe someone will tell you that, but if someone tells you that, it's very good that they tell you that, because now you know that they were a very awful person, horrible person, right? So thanks God that you now know and you can, discard that person as a potential mate. But you don't do it. You don't ask. You don't try. You don't try. That is the thing. Dude, try, please try. Feel the emotions, feel the risk, and do it anyways. Or maybe you want to leave a toxic relationship. Maybe you are already in a relationship, but it's so toxic that you want to go, because obviously you need to go, but you have been there for 10 years and you realize that you had to go 8 years ago and you are still there. Very common situation. Why the hell are you still there? Oh, well, I don't know. Maybe I love the guy. You don't fucking love the guy. Dude, you don't fucking love the guy. He's toxic as hell. Or maybe the woman is toxic as hell. What you are scared is what will happen if you leave the relationship. How you will feel when you are alone. Oh, that is the scary thing. You are afraid of solitude. You are afraid of being alone. It's not about the guy or the woman. It's about your own shit. It's about your own mind. It's about your relationship with yourself. Can you handle that? Can you handle the emotions that will bring in your consciousness, that you will experience once you are listening to yourself? Because when you are with someone, sometimes you don't have to listen to yourself. You just listen to the person. When you are, having dinner, you listen to the person. When you are watching the movie, you listen to the person. When you are having sex, you listen to the person every day. But if you are without the person, if you are by yourself because you left the relationship, then you are forced to listen to yourself, and you are afraid of that. So what you are not afraid about leaving the relationship. You are afraid of what you will feel once you're alone. Or maybe you want to have a kid. Maybe your relationship is good. You have a good relationship, it's all good, and you kind of want a kid, a, a child, a baby, but you don't do it because you're afraid. Like your genes wants to have the kid. It's normal. It's the reproduction drive, the reproductive drive. But you're afraid. Oh my God, I will be a good parent, or I will have enough money to sustain a new life. What if I regret the next day? What if I give birth and I regret the next day? What I will do? I am stuck with this baby at least for 18 years, right? What if I don't want it anymore? All those thoughts are producing emotions, and then you never have your baby. And then you will be an old man without sons, without grandchildren, and you will regret. And hey, it's not a bad thing. If you don't want children, that's okay. But if you want and you don't dare, that is not okay, because you are betraying your desire, right? Or maybe you want to develop a deep spirituality, or a deep, profound spiritual practice or religious experience, but you never do it. Why not? Well, in a nutshell, how the hell you do this? Well, if you want to develop a deep spirituality, you need to go and do deep techniques. That is the most obvious thing in the world. Like, for example, you need to do yoga, you need to do prayer, you need to learn how to meditate, you need to read the Bible, you need to read the Quran, you need to read Buddhist texts, uh, you need to, what else? Work with your chakras, maybe. Or maybe you need to learn how to visualize, or maybe you need to do more selfless service. And you know that. You know exactly what you need to do to develop a more deep spirituality, but you're afraid to do it and you never do it. Like maybe you know that what you need to do is to learn yoga, but you never do it. You never go to YouTube and write yoga class basic. You never do that. And if, or maybe you did it once and you never come back. Or maybe you're afraid to go and, to fast 3 days in a row and learn how to pray while fasting. And that is a very deep spiritual practice. But you're afraid, oh, what I will feel if I'm fasting, if I don't eat for 72 hours, what emotions I will feel. Let me tell you, yes, you will feel as shit, you will feel, right? You, you will feel horrible. It's horrible, yes. But do it anyways. It's horrible. I do you think that I like fasting? I don't like it. Who like it? I You know what I like? I like to eat. I like to eat my hamburger. Oh my god. I like to eat, the food of my wife. Oh, she's the best cooker in the world. I like to eat, not only eat her, but eat her food. Right? I like to eat pizza. That's what I like. Do you think that I like 72 hours fasting without eating? No, I hate it, but I know it's important for my spirituality, so I do it sometimes. Like last week, I did a 24 hours fasting. Not a big deal, but I don't like it. Just notice. You know exactly what you need to do spiritually to evolve to the next level, but you're afraid of it. Maybe you want to move out from your house to live for yourself and you don't do it. I remember when I was like 19, 20 years old, I was thinking maybe I should be, living in my house. I was living with my parents and I just wanted to go out for myself, but I didn't do it. Why? Well, I gave the excuse I don't have money. Like I am studying psychology, I am not working, so I cannot move out. But that was just an excuse because my sister, I have one sister, she's older than me, and she moved out as soon as she could. Like she moved out at 18 years old, and she didn't have any job, and she was also a student. Yes, she went to another university. She went to a public university in Puerto Rico. Uh, so that means that she had a couple of money of her scholarship. And I went to a private university, and that means that I didn't have any money of the scholarship, like the federal scholarship that we can receive in Puerto Rico and in the United States. But yeah, she did it, and she moved out. She went from herself. She never came back. I admire her for that. Like she's very independent. She was not afraid of her feelings in that aspect, in that dimension of her life. And I was afraid of what will happen if I go by myself because I didn't know how to cook. I am learning how to cook now, almost at 30 years old. I am learning. Yes, I'm learning. I am like, I have learned to do like in the last 2 months, like 5 or 6 different dishes. So yeah, that's cool. I'm learning. I am getting in touch with the lover of, cooking and stuff like that. But back in the day when I was 18, the only thing that I ate was my mother's food and Chef Boyardee and Hot Pockets, right? And I was saying to myself, oh, I don't know how to cook. I will not have any money, blah, 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 blah. How I will do it. So I stay there in my house for 2 years. And then I went with a girlfriend. I lived with her. But what I did that when I did that, I didn't went for myself. I went to another mother. That's what I did. And now I know because I introspected a lot and I meditated a lot. So I went to a relationship. She was older than me. Like I was 20 and I was 20 or 21. 21 and she was 20 or 21 and she was 28 and 29. So she was almost a decade ahead of me. So she was established economically. She was exactly as my parents. And I went to her house and I was telling, oh, yes, I did it, right? I moved out. No, I didn't move out. I went to another mother. But with that mother, at least I can have sex with, right? So I was resolving an unconscious Oedipal psychodynamic issue. But hey, I solved that. Like that was part of my journey. And then when that relationship didn't work out, I came back to my house. I didn't went by myself. I didn't say, okay, this relationship failed. I will now be the man that I'm supposed to be. I will move out for myself. No, I went back to my parents' house. And after a year, I then suddenly said, okay, I will be moving out. And I did in my first year of my doctoral program when I graduated bachelor, and I then went to another town to study clinical psychology, and I moved out finally for myself. I was so afraid, man. And that is something that one of the reflections that I have in my upcoming book, Terapia con Derek, Therapy with Derek, is about that process when I move out. So anyways, wait for you wait for reading the book and you will learn more about it. But yeah, you are not afraid of moving out. You are afraid of what you will feel if you move out. Or maybe you are maybe you want to learn a new skill. Maybe you want to learn German language, or Japanese language, or maybe do you want to learn how to produce music, or maybe you want to learn how to do a podcast, or maybe you want to learn about cryptocurrencies and Web 3.0 and the metaverse, or maybe you want to learn about what else can you want to learn these days? Real estate, virtual real estate. Maybe you want to learn about medicine, psychology, Tai Chi, Ayurveda. Maybe you want to learn about culture, about the Chinese culture, about the Peru culture, about the Colombia culture, about the Puerto Rican culture. Maybe you want to know about Allah, Muslim religion, or maybe you want to know about Buddhism, or maybe you want to know about the cosmos, about the planets, about black holes, or about sex, or about Tantra, or about Kundalini. Maybe you want to learn how to paint, or about coding, or about how social media works. Or maybe you want to learn how to box, or how to kickbox, or how to do taekwondo, but you never do it. And you say to everyone, yes, I will someday, I will learn someday, how to produce my own song. Or I will learn someday, I will learn about Bitcoin, that is in my schedule. I will do it. But you don't do it. Why not? Why the hell you don't go all in and learn the shit? Because you're afraid, again, afraid of all the hustle that will demand to learn. And I suffer from this. Like, I always told people back in the day, oh yes, I want to learn about crypto and about NFTs. And but I never do it. Like, I just learned the minimum, very, 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 very little. But last year I said, man, I cannot continue to avoid this. This is inevitable. This is the future of business. I need to go all in. So I spent a whole month or maybe 2 months, like, just reading about that nonstop. And now I am not an expert, but I understand the basics of it. But it was painful, like, just to adjust my mind to the new decentralized dynamisms or dynamics of business and art and culture and existence. Because Web 3.0 and NFTs and cryptos and decentralized financing and organizations, the DAOs, those are about decentralization. And decentralization brings, new dynamics and new terms and new concepts and new philosophies and new paradigms. And it's painful to learn all of that because we are with the old paradigm in our mind, and it's painful to bring the new. Or maybe you want to travel to an uncommon country. And what I refer to an uncommon country is, like, most people want to travel to Disney and to New York. So United States is not uncommon, right? Or maybe to Spain. Oh, I want to go to Europe, so I will go to Spain. That is not uncommon. But maybe you really want to go to Alaska, or maybe you really want to go to South Korea, or maybe you really want to go to Nigeria in Africa. But then that one you don't do, right? You go to Disney. But the real country that you want to do, that you want to visit, that you want to explore, you never go because it's dangerous, or because you don't want the cold, or because you don't want to feel what you will feel if you are there. But the sad thing is that if you don't go, you will never evolve enough. because that is part of your karma. If you are having that drive, you need to burn that karma. I had the drive to go to India, and I was so afraid to go. So afraid to go because I knew that I was not going to the hotel in India to stay with the tourists and to visit uh the tourist places. I knew that if I was going to India, I was going to see the poverty of it, to immerse myself in the culture. And I was so afraid. Who will not be afraid of that? Right? And I did, with all my fears. And that is that is something that I will be discussing in another book that is coming very soon. So stay tuned. So man, yeah, man, just buy the ticket. Buy the ticket. Buy the ticket and go. You will feel a lot, but at least you will feel. Or maybe you want to revolutionize your body, but you never do it. Like you see your body in your mind, like that the fit body that you want. But to obtain that fit body that you want, you need to change your diet. You need to start working out. You need to start going to the gym. You need to start doing yoga. Oh my God, what you will feel. What you will feel when you are in the gym and other people are very strong and you are weak. How you will feel. How you will feel when you are doing yoga and you kind of experience the fact that your body is broke, that you have a lot of injuries, that you're very unflexible. You will feel very bad. You will feel sad, frustrated. Yes, you will feel that. And you're afraid of that. So you never do it. How you will feel when you have to run 3 miles, 5 miles, and maybe you are today overweight and you're kind of, oh man, I don't want to feel that. And you never do it. So you have in your mind the body that you want to have, but you never do it because you're afraid of the feelings that you will need to overcome to do it. Or maybe you want to express your art in a new way, or maybe to share your art if you are already expressing your art, but you never do it. Maybe you are a painter, but you are kind of feeling, oh man, I want to express myself singing, but I don't know because I just paint. Like, my thing is colors. Why the hell now I am working with melodies? Why I'm desiring sounds instead of colors now? So, and you know that if you want to start a new art, that will be a learning curve because art is part creativity and part knowledge. And you already know about your little art, about your little segment of art. So just to go in another realm is so painful, right? Or maybe you already have the art and you are expressing your art without problem, but you don't share it in your social media and no one can see your art. And you dream about exposing your art in a museum, or maybe you dream about creating a fan page on Facebook or creating a website or creating I don't know, another platform in which people can enjoy, maybe a YouTube channel, maybe a Spotify station if it is a podcast. You think about it, but you say then, no, what if people criticize my art? Oh, that will be so painful for me. What if people laugh at my art? And you never do it because you're afraid of what you will feel. You are not afraid of what people will say. People say stupid things every day. You are not afraid of that. What you're afraid is how you will feel when you see that hateful comment in your social media when you share your most vulnerable piece of art. Maybe your most vulnerable poetry, or your most vulnerable video, or your most vulnerable drawing, or whatever. How you will feel. I just it came in my memory, to my memory. I was reading, I think it was yesterday or the late, oh yes, maybe yesterday. I was reading my YouTube comments, and one person, I don't know if it was a man or a woman because the name was only numbers. He comment in one of my YouTube videos. That person comment, "You know that you are crazy, right?" And it was a video about understanding. It was just 1 minute video, a short, and it was about understanding that when you're a father, basically you are the representation of God in the psyche of your child. You are the pattern, the code. And when your child see you as a father, he's not seeing a father, specifically when they are very young. What they are seeing is a God, how a God navigates, and how a God manage the universe. And when that was the central subject, and that is very truth, very true. Like in a psychodynamic way, that is the thing that is happening. Like that is the thing. And I just explained that in the video, and the guy told me, "Hey man, you know that you're crazy, right?" But I understood the vibe. So the vibe was very hateful comment. And I didn't feel bad at all. Like I just comment back, "Hey, I know that I'm crazy, man. A guru told me that in India, and that's true." Like I went to India, I was speaking with this guru, and I told him, "Man, I sometimes think that I'm crazy." I told him that, and he told me, "Yes, you are crazy, man. You are so crazy." Right? Like, and he told me then, like, "But your craziness is a good craziness." He told me, "You will use your craziness for good in the world." And that changed my life. And now I accept I'm crazy. I'm crazy. And that's very good. But if I was afraid of comments like that, I will never expose my art. I will never expose my videos. I will never expose my ideas, my podcasts. That is part of the process. Some people, like for example, another day I was checking my TikTok comments, and I made a video about broken hearts and stuff like that. And I was in a park with my daughter in a desert. And so I was without my shirt, and I was shirtless. And this person, I don't know if it was a woman or a man, he just comment, "Hey man, just put that shirt on. Put that shirt on." Like, what the hell, dude? Like, I'm talking about how to resolve when you have a broken heart. And you are commenting me, "Put a shirt on." Like if you have power over me, like if you have authority over me, like if you can decide what I do or what I don't do, like if you know me, like if like if you can do it. And yes, they can do it. In social media, people can say whatever they want. But just notice, if you're afraid of those comments, you will never expose your art. So I was talking with my wife about that comment, and I said, you know, I am pretty sure that that guy or that woman, and I think that it was a guy, I am pretty sure that that guy that comment me, put a shirt on in the video, probably he was a very miserable man. This is what I picture about him, because who the hell will do that? Who the hell will do that? He must be a miserable man in his bed with his phone like this. He didn't have a profile. Like both. This is the crazy thing. Both comments that I'm referring to, they didn't have a profile pic. And this is something that you will see in social media, like people that are trolls, people that they spend time and energy just writing hateful comments in random creators, in random influencers. These people, they don't have even a profile pic that is legit. They don't show their face. They are hiding. They are hiding behind a fake name, like your bebecito 1234, or like the crazy guy aka 47. So they don't expose the real name and they don't expose the real face. So they are hiding. I think both of them, they were only having the avatar default picture. Like they didn't even dare to upload a fake picture. They didn't upload at all any picture. So I just saw the avatar, the gray avatar of the default without profile pic picture of social media. So this guy, probably he's a miserable man in his bed, looking for creators that are doing a thing, that are creating, that are sharing art, that are sharing ideas, that are in the arena, exposing themselves to change the world. And they are like that, without anything to do in their life, without any creativity, without any purpose, without anything that is meaningful. They are just looking for a thing to transfer their hate, because they hate themselves. They wake up every day, they see themselves in the mirror, they hate themselves. The only thing that they can do is to project that hatred into the world. How we do that now? Into social media. So they do it on Twitter, they do it on YouTube, they do it on Facebook, they do it on Instagram, they do it on True Social, they do it in every social media that you can find. And then you are afraid of that. That you are a creative person, that you have a vision, that you have something in your mind, but you are afraid of those trolls. You are afraid of a miserable man that is in his bed, hiding behind a fake profile, just telling random hateful comments because he or her hates itself. Right? That is the truth about in the internet. So yes, you need to deal with that, and sometimes you will feel a little bit angry, and sometimes I'm not telling you that I am bulletproof against comments. Sometimes they hurt me, but sometimes they don't. But I am just open to feel, because if not, I cannot express this, and I cannot upload these videos, and I cannot share my art. So what is the remedy for all of these situations that I discussed? Creating a business, relationship, deep spirituality, to move out, to learn new skills, to travel to uncommon countries, to revolutionize your body, to express or share your art. What is the remedy for this? And maybe your own particular situation that you are avoiding. Well, the remedy is to develop a better emotional intelligence. That is the remedy. That is the remedy. To develop a better emotional intelligence. And I will not discuss how to do it. Maybe in the future I will do it. But it's kind of obvious. You can do your own research. And emotional intelligence is about to learn to identify your emotions. It's about to deal with them. It's about not be afraid of them. It's about to use them for driving your motivation. It's about to turn your fear into your fire. The fire that will propel your movement forward. That is emotional intelligence. It's about not being afraid to be open to feel, to dare to feel. It's about to dare to feel. So that's it. Just remember, man, you are not afraid of circumstances or situations. You are afraid of affect. You're afraid of emotions. You're afraid of feelings. And if you want to expand, you need to get over this, and you need to be open to feel and do the thing that you're afraid to do. This was your Dr. Derek Israel. Please comment, what are you afraid to do and you will do right now after this podcast? Just leave a comment. Dare to do it. Be brave. Also, remember to share this with a friend and in your social media. Remember to support this podcast on Patreon with only $5 per month. You help us to become more sustainable and to help more people free. Also, remember that we have exclusive chat in Telegram. It's for free if you want to join. And also remember that in the description, you will find the link to apply if you live in Puerto Rico for my psychological services. A member of my team will respond in a couple of weeks with more information, and visit derekisrael.com. There you will find everything that I have in store for you. And I see you